Listen, I always tell my friends this. If something isn't going to work, you don't have to force it to not work. Trust me, it will naturally come apart. All right? So just do you and continue being an amazing person and watch magic happen. What's up, everyone? I'm LaPorsche. Listen, Atlanta Black Pride Weekend is almost here. We love pride in general, but we know that so many times Black people and people of color are oftentimes pushed to the back and or not included in large-scale pride events, unless they're performing or something. Atlanta is home to one of the largest Black queer communities in the world, and Black people from all across the world, the globe, fly in to celebrate their pride and Blackness. Some even call Atlanta America's Black capital. You know, I invited one of the co-founders of Atlanta Black Pride Weekend to tell me all about what you all have to look forward to. Check it out. All right, everyone, we have the founder of Tracks Girls and one of the co-founders of Atlanta Black Pride Weekend here. Welcome, Melissa Scott. There we go.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Of course, listen, this is going to be a jam-packed weekend. We were just talking behind the scenes and I'm already tired. It's going to be filled with dinners and festivals and love and celebration and pride and so much more. But before we get into the details of the event, Melissa, I really need to know, why is it important that Black LGBTQIA people have their own pride events?
Absolutely. I mean, Black people in general, we have different needs, you know, whether it be health needs, mental health needs, any of those things of that nature. So, you know, we identify differently, obviously. There's going to be some similarities across all humans, but I mean, people of color have different needs. And so we have an event that, you know, we'll have, example, health workshops set up that gear towards, you know, sicknesses and illnesses and things that people of color tend to have. So different health needs, different educational needs, different financial needs. So it's just an opportunity to be able to narrow it down to, hey, this is a particular bank you should probably talk to because they can help you because you had this in your past, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yes.
Now, I want to know, when did you become involved in Black Pride Weekend?
Sure. In 2006 was my first well, not my first introduction, because I definitely partied at Black Pride Weekend. Okay. Matter of fact, they should have named it after me after my years of partying. But past that, I got involved politically, and then on the work side of it in 2006.
All right. Now, listen. Sometimes it's very confusing keeping up with like official Black Pride events versus others. How can people know the official events versus the other events?
Sure. Well, our events are Atlanta Black Pride Weekend. And if you go to atlantaprideweekend.com, like literally atlantaprideweekend.com, those are all of the actual official events. That's the official festivals, the workshops, the poetry slams, jazz brunches, influencer dinner, things of that nature. Those are the official events. There's going to be lots of people using the word Black Pride. It is Black Pride Weekend. So, you know, we're not going to tell people, hey, you can't say it's Black Pride. You can't not say it's Black Pride Weekend. It's Black Pride. That's the whole point. We should all be celebrating. We should all be joining together, uplifting each other, and enjoying each other's events and things of that nature. But for the official event, atlantaprideweekend.com.
What made you choose Big Frida for the Icon Award this year? I mean, long overdue. Who? Beyonce. You know, like, I mean, she deserves. So what goes into that selection?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, Big Frida is an icon, just in general, a generalized icon. Now, the LGBTQ part, to me, is just sugar on top, is extra. But Big Frida is an icon in the music industry, an icon in the genre, it bounds. There's no person of huge stature that has not sampled a Big Frida track, a Big Frida saying from Beyonce, Drake. I mean, these are two of the largest entertainers on earth right now, and they both sampled Big Frida and used Big Frida. She's an icon. I mean, she has to be here. The fact that we haven't been able to get a hold of her and the schedules happen to align this year, yes. No brainer.
That's how you know it's meant to be. Is there a parade this year, real quick?
So there has never been a parade for Atlanta Black Pride Weekend. There's a parade that takes place during Atlanta Pride Weekend.
Gotcha.
But what Atlanta Black Pride Weekend has is a huge festival on Sunday called the Pure Heat Community Festival.
Okay.
So that's one of the most exciting festivals that take place in Atlanta, and that happens during Black Pride Weekend. But we don't have a parade yet.
All right, got you. And I see that a portion of the proceeds will go to homeless LGBTQIA plus youth and those infected or impacted by HIV/AIDS. How can you ensure people that the proceeds will actually go to these organizations and these causes?
Sure, it's quite simple. Just come. We actually have this year, it's the second year, but last year rained so bad. But this year, um, we have two new sections that we're introducing. One for house music, we call it House Heads. So they'll be playing house music for our grown folks, our older people that enjoy, just vibing out to house music. But we did introduce another stage this year called the LGBTQ Youth Festival stage. So over there, we'll be giving out haircuts. The kids will be have food all day. Pepsi's bringing in drinks for them all day. We're giving out health kits. We'll be doing haircuts. We'll be doing hair. We'll have their back to school gear. And all of those things will take place over there. So you can come see the actual dollars working in person live. And then if you hang around and want to help us a little further, you'll start to see a little more throughout the year as well.
Listen, I really enjoyed talking to her. She was really cool. For more information on the official events, head over to AtlantaPrideWeekend.com. That's AtlantaPrideWeekend.com. Speaking of historic celebrations and weekends, August 28th marked the 60th anniversary of the historic Civil Rights March on Washington. I know, right? Let that sink in. During the weekend, tens of thousands of people gathered not to commemorate the event, but to continue the hopes and dreams of so many that helped organize it, like Bayard Rustin, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., John Lewis, and so many more, all right? Right there at the Lincoln Memorial in 1963. Civil rights activist Ambassador Andrew Young was there that day, and 60 years later, he spoke about the importance of voting and so much more. Take a listen.
That the vote is the passport to freedom and opportunity. That is hard work, but it's good work. Don't get mad. Get smart. Don't look at all the things that are wrong. Look back on where we were 66 years ago when we had the first March on Washington. And Martin Luther King said then, "Give us the ballot." And then he moved up and said, "But I have a dream." But he gave his life for that dream.
There are names we hear all of the time when it comes to the March on Washington. But I did some research and wanted to speak some names of the people who aren't highlighted as often. I'm talking Daisy Bates, Josephine Baker, Bayard Rustin, Gloria Richardson, Anna Arnold Hedgeman, Diane Nash, and so many more. We say thank you. Meanwhile, there are calls for gun reform and a hate crime investigation is definitely underway after police in Jacksonville say a white man killed 3 black people in a racist attack. This is so tragic. The gunman, 21-year-old Ryan Palmeter, targeted at a Dollar General. But earlier in the day, the suspect was seen on the campus of Edward Waters University, which, if you don't know, is Florida's oldest HBCU. Students called security because he seemed out of place, and the gunman left the campus. Investigators also say he left behind racist writings and used all types of racial slurs. His assault rifle was also emblazoned with swastikas. This all happening on the same day that thousands gathered for the March on Washington. This is what the White House had to say about the event.
Even as we continue searching for answers, we must say clearly and forcefully that white supremacy has no place in America. As the president said in his statement yesterday, we must refuse to live in a country where black families going to the store or black students going to school live in fear of being gunned down because of the color of their skin. Hate must have no safe harbor. Silence is complicity, and we must not remain silent. And we must continue to do all we can to keep guns out of dangerous hands. The President and the First Lady are praying for the victims and their families, and this entire administration grieves with the people of Jacksonville.
Sheriff T.K. Waters also said, quote, "There is no question he hated blacks. He hated just about anyone who wasn't white." Now, the person in this next story knows all about making history. Simone, girl, bring it here. Come here. Listen, a champ is going to be a champion. Our fave officially won her 8th, yes, you heard me, 8th all-around title. And not only that, she's made history as the oldest U.S. woman all-around champ. At 26, which I know you're thinking like, Portia, that's not old. It's not old to us. But in gymnastics, it's a little bit different. She scored 14.850 on vault, 14.050 on uneven bars, 14.850 on the balance beam, and a whopping 15.400 on the floor. Translation, listen, forget all them scores. She is an icon, she's a legend, and baby, she is the moment. Miss Simone Biles Owens, you go, girl. Listen, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow, girls.